One of you guys crank that up for me. We're back another Tuesday here over at the old Torino working shack. Seems like this is like deja vu here. I'm just kidding. It is I don't even know what day it is. Is it actually Tuesday for once?
It is actually
Dang,
Tuesday.
it's another Tuesday, guys. It's a real Tuesday, not just the regular Tuesday. So, as you can see, we're actually, as usual, we're kind of making some progress with this car here, but I think I've kind of expelled all my options for how far I'm going to actually get with it, with what tools I have here. And I don't want to buy any more parts. So we're actually getting ready to leave pretty quick here. So we're just kind of working through some of the last of the problems that we can establish with this thing. My goal was to get it running and driving while we were here. Kind of had some successes and some failures here, and it still needs a bunch of work. I mean, this thing's been sitting for 35 years, right, guys? So this, of course, if anybody's ever worked on a car that's sat for 35 years, you're going to end up having the problems that you have with cars that sit for 35 years. So it's kind of what we're dealing with here. So I actually had a little bit of I guess hope today. So we'll kind of see how it goes here, but it's I mean, it's all there, everything complete. It seems like the motor is going to be decent and stuff like that. We just kind of need to, I mean, it still needs everything, right? It's going to need still brakes and tires. And what's up, man? We're doing good. We're doing good. Almost wrapping up our trip here in Florida. We're finally been it's been actually cold down here. I mean, cold for Florida, so hasn't been a whole lot of fun here lately with the weather the way it's been here. So we've been kind of doing some inside stuff, but got around to kind of working on this car here again today. So like always, running into surprises and stuff. So I tried putting this GM HEI distributor in this thing and kind of had some learnings with that. I'm pretty on track with what I thought, which is good. So just kind of, I put a marine battery in it, so ran that down. I'm charging that up right now. That's funny.
What is that?
He said, I saw that. He said, it's that classic guy, Chris's brother there. He's like, I saw the iguanas falling out of the trees.
We actually haven't seen them falling out of the trees.
No.
I was hoping we'd see some, but I never saw any iguanas.
For some reason, everybody north of us and everybody south of us got like pretty much to freezing temperature, and where we're at, it never froze. So they were saying that, yeah, once they get pretty anywhere around that, what do you say, 30 degrees?
It's like anything 30 or less, they get stunned.
Being like,
yeah,
they start like basically not being able to function.
I couldn't believe how big some of those iguanas were, though. Some
yeah,
of them
they're
were like
freaking huge, man.
No, like, honey, that's like.
Sorry. Well, yeah. I can't show it here. This big.
Yeah, they were huge.
So, anyway, so we've been kind of just doing some inside stuff or whatever, but might actually make some progress with this thing before we actually get out of here. It's kind of been, I mean, honestly, it hasn't been that big of an ordeal considering, again, how long it's been sitting. What's up, Eddie? How's it going from Tennessee? Yeah, so we're just getting ready to go home. Once I get home, I'll have actual tools and a garage I can work on this thing in and actually make some progress. I'm pretty confident that the motor's good, and I don't know about everything else. What concerns me is when I started kind of doing some of this stuff there, I was opening the trunk and all that, and you start finding 3 distributors and a set of gears for the differential, and what else we find, headers and a whole bunch of stuff that there's kind of usually a reason that there's all this stuff in there. What's up with the Alpha cap? What's up, Logan? Alpha Maui. So they're actually going to be, I haven't really talked about it yet because I haven't had a video out in a bit here, but they're actually going to be my first channel sponsor. I've just been kind of wearing their stuff forever, and so I really like their hats, and that's mostly what I wear is their hats. I have some other stuff like sunglasses and things like that. I don't know what have you had there? I don't even know. They have all sorts of different stuff, clothes, pants, and things like that, but I mostly just wear it is not my company name. It's they're out of Maui, Hawaii, actually. So met them a long time ago. I've been wearing his stuff since 2018. It was just kind of a easy thing. I really like their stuff. It lasts really good. It's actually really good quality. It's not just like some bad quality, someone made it in their basement kind of thing or whatever there. actually the very first hat I ever bought from them. I finally just threw it out there like 6 months ago. So, and I wore it every single day. I washed it a bunch of times, so kind of gives a testament to their quality. But they have some cool stuff, anyways. I just like their logo and their fit and everything like that. So yeah, I've been wearing it. But no, it's not. Usually I wear the white one there. It's this is my work hat now. I switched to my work hat because I have a new one of the old work hat I have now, so I'm trying to make a different work hat. Yeah, so anyways, so we've been working on this thing there. Oh, I forgot it also had, so man, this thing was a disaster. There was two coils, two coils, two ignition boxes. So the Ford has that weird ignition box. So two coils, two ignition boxes, 3 distributors, 2 sets of headers, a set of gears. That's just what I just saw so far. There's actually some parts laying on the floor. I don't know how old they are. I think I saw brake lines laying there, if they're the right ones or not or whatever. But yeah, it looks like the tires are brand new. I think I said this in one of the lives before, but I'm pretty sure what happened here was they put a new motor and transmission and it never got it running. That's what I'm suspecting. So, what's up, man? How's it going, Blake? So we've been having some little bit of hiccups there, trying to figure all this stuff out. Because it's an aftermarket distributor I'm putting in there, it doesn't, I mean, it actually fits good and everything like that. It's just to figure out like where all the timing stuff is. And I wasn't, so apparently on the Ford, at least on this particular one, so it's an actual Cleveland for sure. Blake, when are we going home? Hey, what, are you writing a book or something?
We have to go home. Unfortunately, this is it.
Yeah, we do. We're actually leaving on Saturday.
Yep, Saturday is the official day that we have logged in a calendar to go home.
So I'm thinking of actually doing one of the sick week days here. Just going and checking that out, maybe doing a live from there. If you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I'm thinking Saturday we're going home, and actually that's about 4 hours from here to the first track. So I'm kind of thinking that would kind of make sense instead of making an extra trip one of the other days. I was actually going to go to the one in Bradenton again because it's not that far at Cletus's place, but I checked the schedule and then I checked the weather and it's like 70% chance of rain, so there's no point. No more holiday money back to the salt mines.
I know.
Yep, that's right. Now I gotta go.
Lately,
pay for
it's just been the salted rim of the glass.
Yeah. Now it's starting to warm up at home, so we can actually go back home and not be freezing to death. So finally heading home pretty quick here. It's been a long, not long for us, but man, the time flew by here.
It went by so fast. It was so fast. We had I probably had 30 things written down that I wanted to do, and we did 5 of them.
Yeah. I think the problem is unless you stay someplace that's really like in like a busy area that you want to do, like Orlando, if you want to do all the like kind of Disney type stuff and you stayed right there, you could jam off a bunch of that list. But if you want to like do a bunch of kind of more what type of stuff we like to do, it takes a while to drive there. So you spend a couple hours there, spend the day there, drive home, and then you're kind of spent or whatever. And so the next day you're like, I don't really want to do anything the next day.
Well, plus we do a lot of museum type stuff. And the truth is that it does, like, especially when you're doing it with the kids and we're trying to learn with them, it's draining on the brain. You don't think like all of that is so draining, but it is. And the next day you're just like, all right, it's time for a day off.
Yeah. So we've been having fun though. Actually, honestly, for me, I've turned into kind of a foodie. So I really like going for like all these random breakfasts. Super. I mean, I wouldn't say whatever. Let's just say it's affordable around here or whatever. And there's a lot of like really good restaurants for like a lower price point than a lot of places we've been to. So got a bunch of different breakfast places and things like that. We're actually going to have a whole bunch on our second channel there of our traveling around Florida and stuff here. We probably didn't do as good of a job as we could have because we just don't really ever get the actual vacation. So it's hard to turn it on and off all the time. But
we've been trying to work as much as we can, but we also are trying to make sure we spend time in the moment. It's hard to spend time in the moment when you're taking pictures and videos of everything. So
yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I want to get this thing home so we can figure out what to do with it there next, I guess, or whatever. And
so the goal this week is to get it on the trailer since we have to leave on Saturday. That's the goal.
I want to drive it on the trailer. That's kind of been my goal. I actually was thinking because it's pretty flat around here, even if the brakes were questionable. I know for sure the fronts don't work. I almost thought that the back maybe worked a little bit, but I don't know. But I probably could have just coasted it up and down the road here, but I don't have a fuel pump for it. I'll just make her walk beside me and squeeze the ball on the freaking gas tank. I made her sit there pumping it while I was trying
15
to get her.
minutes. 15 minutes, guys.
Well, yeah,
Longest 15 minutes of my life.
I was trying to get it running. I was trying to fire there, and then the timing was all messed up. And then I was like, well, maybe it's not getting enough fuel, and it's kind of like it getting spark, and then it's not or whatever. And it was kind of an ordeal there. So we're just messing around, trying to get it running. So it popped off there. So that's a good sign. But we'll see if we can actually get it running enough to get on the trailer. That's my goal. If it would just fire up and run good enough to get on the trailer. That's assuming nothing else is broke. Like, I don't know why it got parked. I think it's because they couldn't get it running. It had no spark. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Or something else broke, like the transmission or the differential, which is weird. There's a gear set in the rear. That's not a great sign either.
So I don't know. Would that mean that it won't go into gear?
Well, it was just like the only reason that made me question that is there's a gear set in the rear. And then when we were pushing it down the hill to get it out of the place we bought it from, it was kind of squeaking the tires, almost like the diff was welded, but that would be kind of very weird. So then I'm like, well, maybe something's piling up in there or whatever. So that could be a whole nother problem in itself. But, do I have a winch on the front of my trailer? No, I actually have one at home. So this trailer is it's actually the second trailer of this brand I've had. And they put the winch plate in front of, like, there's kind of a hole through the front frame there. And they put the winch plate there. But, like, there's no way to actually get it to go through the hole without it basically dragging.
And it drags on the winch wire.
The main reason that I didn't really put it on yet is because this trailer isn't, I don't really want to keep it. I've only had this trailer for, like, maybe 2 or 3 months now, and I have barely even used it, actually. And already it's having problems that the other one had. So I kind of just want to get out of it now before I start having problems that I'm going to have to, like, buy a new trailer again. The internal combustion engine is the past. Electric is the future. No. Without the internal combustion engine, you would have no electric. So, nice try, bud. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, we're trying to figure out this stuff or whatever. I'm actually kind of excited to get home. So I've been looking at some other things there. I don't know if I talked about this at all. I want to buy an enclosed trailer. I actually thought I had one lined up there, but it turned out it was a scam. The guy kind of looked like a legit guy that maybe wasn't really real, like, keen on responding. But it turned out it was a scam. So anyway, so I'm looking for I would like to get about at least a 20-foot trailer so I could have enough room for my Camaro in it, and then a little bit of parts storage in front of it. Like 24 would be ideal. Then I could have a couple engines and things like that in there, just so that it's out of the way of my my garage there.
Do I need a moderator, or are you okay?
No.
Okay. You just let me know if you need me in there. My phone's almost dead.
How's it going, Ula? Sorry. How's the Torino coming along? It's coming. I've been working on it all day here. We got it to actually pop and fire off a little bit here, but I put this HEI. I don't know if any of you guys were in here the other day when we did a live, but I should put this. It's basically like a GM HEI one-wire thing in it there. But I'm not familiar with Fords, and I think I was getting to this earlier. I think the left bank of the car is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the right bank of the car is 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I don't know. There's a few different diagrams on Google, but it doesn't really fully elaborate there. So just trying to.
But we got spark, and that's always a first start.
I don't mind if people come in, Blake, with a difference of opinion. It's totally fine. Whatever. It's car related still. If he thinks that electric is better, that's up to them. I won't drive an EV I just don't think it's not my content, whatever. So each of their own. I'm not going to knock somebody, so whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think when I turn it over, so I actually got it like spinning over there and stuff, and I ran it over the other day, just spinning it over to check just to make sure. So this car actually has like no gauges, which is kind of lame, but it sounds like the motor is decent at least. You didn't hear anything clunking and banging or anything like that, so could be. There could be something else that went wrong, but it's hard to say. Ford goes 1, 2, 3, 4 down on one side. So is that all Fords, or is that only like the bigger ones, like 350 ones and up? because some of the diagrams online, it kind of showed it almost like a Chevy, and I thought it was 1843657 but then when I looked at the wires, it was not that. So I don't know. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong. I'll never drive electric. I had electric Bobcat as a loaner for the worst machine I've ever had in my life. I see them trying to sell some of those like electric tractors and things like that. I mean, maybe they have a place, but I guess just the way, this is just my opinion, the way I look at it is like it takes a lot of energy to like build batteries and build the electric machines, and like the disposal of all that stuff and extra weight on the roads for the cars and the trucks, and I mean, and the infrastructure required to like actually put extra power into everywhere and things like that. And so I just don't see it being a greener solution, but that's just my opinion. And it also has a ton of limitations over a gas motor. There's cars from 1936 still running and driving on the road today. You think that's going to happen with it electric? Probably not. My 302 is the same. Huh, interesting. So that's obviously a Ford thing then. Is your 302 like 1843657 Am I wiring the distributor the way the rotor spins? Well, I put the wires back on the way that they were on the old distributor. I'm just assuming that was right, but I'm not saying it was. See, in Canada, where I'm from, did you see in Canada where I'm from and where you're from too, that they're letting the Chinese EVs come? Really? That's not good.
I don't understand how EVs are going to work in that cold of temperatures. Like batteries don't even last when it's that cold of a temperature.
We used to have a friend that was worked for. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb here. We used to. Well, we had a guy we used to know that kind of worked for Tesla and stuff, and he said he was trying to tell us at the time that they were trying to create a battery that lasted longer in cold weather, and then he's like, after a while, he's like, it's not working. So, what's up, RH? It is the Canadians. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen anything electric that lasted longer when it was -30? No. The only advantage I could see to it would be like it's instant. Like, for example, if you turn an electric heater on, it would be like pretty much instant heat. You know, if you wanted to like take off, you could drive away right away, you know, without being basically warmed up and things like that. I don't know. I mean, again, and then when you start having to replace batteries and those things cost 10 grand or more, and then when they have to dispose of them or whatever, you imagine, what are they going to, you can hardly dispose of a freaking car battery these days. How are they going to dispose of these freaking 90 kilowatt truck batteries and things like that? It just doesn't, again, for me, it just doesn't make a bunch of sense, but whatever. I mean, they're going to start bringing all those ones from China and stuff. And I think that's going to cause a huge problem, but different firing order. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Good luck with -30, and I'm not going to be taking a chance to be stranded with an electric vehicle in -30. That's just my opinion.
But there's a lot more people stranded with their electric vehicles and gas.
Maybe a golf cart or these bikes that we just bought. Something like that makes sense to me. There's an actual practical purpose for it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a Cleveland for sure. I wasn't sure. I thought it was, because to me the way I always saw it is it looks like the valve covers look different on a Cleveland, and it actually is stamped Cleveland on it there. It has the Cleveland tag. That's partially what makes me think it's been rebuilt. I think this is what I think, actually. It's been a day of technical difficulties here.
No joke.
It has been a day. Huh. Huh. There we go. Still coming back now?
I don't see it. Oh, there you go.
I can't see any of the people though.
It says you have 2 people in here right now.
Yeah, it's like frozen on my end though.
It says you have 2 people in here right now.
Yeah, it's like frozen on my end. type a comment and see if it comes through. Our internet's been kind of wigging out here lately, guys. Counterclockwise rotation on distributor. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think we got her. I think we got her, guys. Check, check. Sorry, man. We were trying to do a live on her channel earlier there, and it was like acting up like for us too there. Spinning circle still?
Not on mine.
Looks like it's working on hers.
Yeah, yours not.
So we're charging up the battery here anyways, and still good? Yeah. Internet can't handle the floor cold snap. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know what the heck we were trying. We tried it on Wi-Fi this morning on hers. And then
I
we
think
went to,
there's actually something wrong with like YouTube Live this last week because we've had so many problems. We used to have like our lives used to be hopping, and we've hardly had anybody in our lives this last week. And I think there's probably some issues with
I'm kind
YouTube
of
right
wondering
now.
if there's some YouTube issues here lately because usually, like,
And
I've
I've
on
even
a
had
low day
like
40
regular
or 50
followers
people that are always here, and it's been like hardly anything lately. So,
and my regular
just,
followers aren't getting notifications when I go live, and then it's like cutting out, and it's like not spinning, it's not loading properly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Not sure what's going on there. We've tried the horizontal. Oh, there we go. He said it's back now. We've tried the horizontal. We've tried the vertical there. I don't know. Weird. The other day when we were on, we had like 850 people in here. Just kind of ever since then, it's like that was like that. That was like the peak day, and then it's been like hardly anything the last few times. We've hardly actually been on, I guess, but still.
No, but even the times that we have, we always have a pretty good crowd.
Yeah.
Never less than 50.
No, like this is like nothing. This is probably the lowest I've had in 3 months. So anyway, so that's what we've been working on here, guys. We're just trying to get that thing going, and hopefully what I want to finish up here is the video to try to finish up the video to actually get it running and driving on the trailer. That's all I really have the tools for. I could maybe, if I really was, the problem is I don't have things like jacks and stuff like that to change like the brakes and stuff, and I'm not going to go around buying that kind of stuff right now. So I have it all at home. What I've been trying to do is find a trailer to basically store my Camaro and some parts in, and then use the garage for full space until my shop is built. And what I want to do is get a single post, one of those portable single post hoists. Then I can actually really pick up the pace and actually get rolling on some projects a lot quicker. Because all this stuff, man, when you got to start jacking up and putting it onto jack stands and then rolling on your back and trying to get stuff on your back. I mean, if you had it on a hoist, you could have something that would take 2 hours on your back done in 15 minutes kind of thing. So it's just one of those things, you know, just kind of help me streamline things. It's nothing to do with like, it's not like I'm lazy to like get underneath the car and work on it, but if I'm going to try to do multiple cars a month, you know, like for a while there, I was trying to make a video a week, not 4 vehicles a month, but like 4 videos a month. And if I'm going to try to get anywhere near that, I'm going to have to be able to have some things to streamline, you know, and that includes other things like better, you know, whatever it is, if we need better stuff to edit or for things like that, or I'm thinking I could probably do like 2 to 3 cars a month with how I'm doing things right now. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. I have a couple good ideas for my next things there. So if you guys are kind of know what I'm talking about here, they're kind of I think they're a fairly new thing here, but they're called the most popular ones out there right now is Catools, and then these Ideal mobile lifts are really like the more mainstream ones now. They're all made in China, and so the other day I saw a guy selling one. I should have jumped on it right away because it was a really good deal. He was asking $2,100 and it was only used like 2 or 3 times. And so he had the model number there, but it was a brand I hadn't heard of, and it's actually on Amazon. So and it's $3,600 on Amazon. I think $3,200 on Temu. It's the same lift, I guess. I don't know. Comes with like a couple supports and stuff, but it's basically one post and it looks like a pallet jack, and you just push it under the car, or else you can drive over it too or whatever, and then you can kind of lift it that way. But the only downside is there's a crossbar, so that could get in the way for certain things, but just kind of that's kind of what I'm thinking. So it would be something that would be I'd have a lift as soon as I got into my shop. First of all, even if it's not perfect, it's still way better than working on the ground, and then I could slowly work towards other stuff. But I would have it before I got the actual shop built. So the more views and stuff I get on these videos and stuff, the faster I guess I'll try to get the shop built there. Really isn't going to be warm enough for concrete until probably March now anyway, so we won't be back until at least March. We're going to come, and then we've got some other stuff we need to go. It's actually our anniversary coming up here, so we're going to take a little bit of an actual vacation for
Yeah, we're
that.
gonna take a week off, you guys.
Yeah. Ironically here, but yeah, they're portable. So I kind of want to buy it just to try to do a little bit of a review on it too, because nobody I've ever really seen has one. They're 110 volts, and they're just like, it's literally just a single post on one side. It's got like two like this, and then you put your pads on it, and they spread open. If you search up ideal mobile lifts, that's kind of the most common one there. But that's what I'm kind of thinking. They're rated to lift 6,000 pounds. I've seen people actually. A friend of mine has the ideal one in Canada there, and he's picked up. He showed me a couple of pictures. I think he picked up his truck with it. He's picked up his son's Camaro with it. Things like that. That's the only things I've seen about this style of lift, is that people say that sometimes you gotta jack it up, put the pads in, like just jack it up a little bit with the jack or something, put the pads in if you want clearance, like for that crossbar in the middle. So maybe if you were going to try to do like, versus just like regular two post, if you were going to try to do like exhaust, for example, or something like that, there's a potential that could be in the way. Or if it's not stacked high enough, you might have to put those so that it doesn't hit the body. It's not usually a problem, but it could potentially be an issue, just something to kind of think. But $3,600. I mean, so I could get like a Chinese knockoff two post, but I don't know if my concrete's good enough, and a four post won't fit in the garage, and it would take up a ton of floor space. So I think overall, this would be something that would be, even down the road, it's something that if you have concrete outside your shop, which I probably will eventually, that you could wheel it outside and work on a vehicle outside if you needed to do something. So like gives you a lot of flexibility, right? So, and they don't really lose a bunch of value, so I could use it for a while. And if I find I'm going to upgrade lifts down the road, I could probably get a good chunk of my money back. But $3,600, I could have got one for $2,100. I probably should have just bought it. It's sold now, but I didn't really know anything about it, and just wasn't sure. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. But I need a place to put my car so I don't have to leave it outside. I don't care about the other cars because they're not all painted and nice or whatever. But my cars, I don't know. I've never left my Camaro outside, and I'm not going to start now. So that would kind of it. Plus, I want a little bit of part storage, even if it was just like a cheap, whatever. It could be like a little bit of a rundown trailer as long as it doesn't leak. That would kind of be the main thing there. That car's got to get totally torn apart. It's had mice and stuff in it, and so it really needs seats and carpet and a good deep clean and some wiring. It really should be totally rewired and painted and all that stuff. So not sure what I'm gonna do with that one there, but we all have storage issues. Yes, we do. I figure at least if I get a shop built, I can put some upper storage. I'm trying to make it 16-foot walls so that I can have like some upper height for a little bit of, even if it's narrow pallet racking or something like that, that I can put against the walls. And just floor space is life, right? So anything you can keep off of the floor and put it up, just for things like maybe if I wanted to keep a few spare engines and that transmissions, all that kind of stuff, or whatever, things that you're not going to just need access to every single day, that kind of stuff. We've been talking about maybe just putting like a little loft space up there. It's hard to tell how the space will be until you actually get into it. So I don't know. Like I'm thinking about maybe putting a small gym area up there or something like that. What's up, Max? How's it going, man? I know that's what I thought too. I'm like, Connex are nice, but then you got that. I guess it's the same issue as a trailer, but once you got a Connex and it's going to be there for a long time, the problem is then you're, like you said, you're just going to start hoarding it up and stockpiling, and then it's also not portable. So is it like if it's in the wrong spot and then you got to move it around, and I don't know. I just thought because really once I have my shop, I probably wouldn't need that trailer anymore, and then I could just get my money back out of it. But I know a friend of mine told me, like, I've seen a few of those Quonset buildings for super cheap a few times. He's like, man, you should just put that up too beside your shop, And then when your vehicles or whatever are done, you can just roll them into there or whatever, and at least you got space for storage until they sell or whatever. If you want to keep them or whatever, at least they're out of elements. Which he's probably right. You know, if it was the right price, but what that ends up happening then is you're like, oh, I've got this building. Oh, I wish it had concrete in it. And then the next thing you know, you've got another shop build that you're doing. And I don't know if I'd want to do that, at least not right now. Once my subs get up and I really start getting some regular big views and stuff like that, you know, if that happened, I would probably consider it a little bit more. But we're slowly gaining here. 100,000 plus views on the videos is getting to be pretty significant here, so we'll just kind of see how it is moving forward, I guess. But anyways, I got a lot of projects, so like I said, I've got this car right now, I've got my Camaro.
You think this car's battery is charged? Because I think we should do something before it gets dark.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to go fire this thing over once again, I guess, and see if it can maybe
get
get
check
anything
if the battery's
happening.
charged?
Yeah, it's probably as charged as it's gonna get here. So I guess before we totally lose sunlight, she's gonna want to go watch the sunset pretty soon here.
I do. This is the first nice day we've had in like 4 days.
I got my generator running, just charging the battery. We're actually kind of sitting. There's it's like a vacation rental with a few rentals in it. We're kind of on the other side here, just using the umbrella for some shade here. But I think we're gonna jump out of here, guys, and just figured I'd give you guys an update. We're going home in a couple days. If you guys want to see me, we're probably gonna go home Saturday. But if you guys wanted to actually see some of that stuff from Sick Week, we had a really ton of people in there that day. So if people really wanted to see that, I would definitely come back for sure. Thanks for stopping by there, Minnie. It's yeah, it's been a good trip here. So we're just trying to wrap it up and try to get loaded up. Now we got a house full of stuff here that we have to repack up, and we left with twice as much stuff as we came with. But it's all good though. It's been a good trip. But yeah, it'll be fun once I get home and kind of get this thing, I guess, hopefully get it running. Maybe I'll get it running before I leave. That was my goal, but I didn't really have a whole lot of time and parts and tools to do much else. So we'll see how it goes. But all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. So check out my channel. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and check out all my other content, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.